Hey, hello.
Hello, do you see me?
I see only your profile picture, but now it's okay. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Hi,
Oh, nice
Joakim.
background.
This is a cool background, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, this is Zsolt from the Hungarian metal webzine chronosmortus.com, and I'm really glad that this interview could take place. By the way, this is already the third time you've been available for an interview to us because you answered our questions by email in 2019 and 2017. So it's very
Okay.
nice. It's very
Yeah,
nice
yes,
to take so much time for us.
yeah. I saw uh, some post on Facebook. I don't know if it was you or
Probably it wasn't me, but some of my colleagues.
yes, it was for the latest one, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
how did your day start today? What's the Swedish guy's morning like?
Today is shit weather. Uh, the the second winter has just ended again, so the streets are kind of wet and yeah, the snow is gone. There are still some piles of snow, dirty snow. So right
Mm.
now is a bad period, weather like. Um,
Oh, no,
so
no, it's not that good. Fortunately, in Hungary, the weather is a bit better.
yeah. No, but actually, I prefer if it shall be winter, it must be minus degrees, so the snow is here. You know, Stockholm is a big city. There's a lot of people walking around. So as soon as it starts to come near zero, it's all slush in the streets.
Oh yeah,
So
it's muddy. Yeah.
yeah, muddy. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
it also brings some light in the darkness. The snow reflects city lights, and yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
You've been around for over 30 years, and Necrophobic has never disappointed their fans. You have remained true to your sound. Your songs are ruled by evil, dark atmospheres, melodies, and kind of energy bombs. How did you manage to keep it this way and even further develop it for such a long time? What's the recipe for you guys for keeping the flame?
I think. Thank you very much. I think stubbornness and passion, and that we are heavy metal fans or metal fans ourselves. Uh, and I don't know actually if Necrophobic has sounded the way it does now if it would have been the same lineup all the time. Because when David left and Sebastian came in, Sebastian sort of came into the band and wanted it to not change. He wanted it to continue in the same paths that we were already approaching or walking, or so to speak. And also we don't like ourselves if bands change too much. If we like a band, we as a metal fan, you want that band to be like that band all the time. Not, of course, some developments all the time, but still not too much, so it's a completely different band. And yes, I think developing has been a big thing, but yet inside what's Necrophobic is like, you know.
I see.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, you are on your 10th album with the current one. This is very cool.
Mm.
And what kind of changes can you see in terms of drumming over this long period of time? What type of a drum did you start with back then, and what kind of a drum do you use right now?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not the best musician in this band. I think I developed the least out of all the musicians in my band. But I had always tried to play simple, not doing many things to shine. I rather play simple but with a feeling and a groove, and let all the other instruments take their place, which is, I think, is important to, as we are a very melodic band, that the guitars, the melodies are what you hear, and try to lift that instead of, you know, playing some I don't know the English word, but bragging stuff on the drums. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not that great drummer, so I have never tried to be, like all the technical drummers that wants to do a drum fill every 10 seconds in the song, and so the as I have this style, I kept it like this, and yeah, it have worked fine, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How many drumsticks have you signed and thrown out among the fans? Do you have?
Not so much, actually. I did that for when we were a touring band. I had drumsticks signed and gave them after shows. But now I have my own custom-made drumsticks.
Oh, yeah.
So I tend to throw them away a bit too often.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh.
While you were a touring band, did you have a favorite venues where you particularly enjoyed playing your drums?
Sorry, I was interrupted by a phone call.
No,
It
it's okay.
was silent, but again, what did you say?
I just asked whether when you were a touring band, did you have favorite venues where you liked to play your drums?
Um, well, there is always clubs that are, I cannot remember everyone, but if the stage has a drum throne, drum rise, not standing on the scene, it's have it so it's over. Yeah, that I like very much, and that it's a lot of good space for all the musicians to move around, and also if it's a bit high in the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
because the lighting is better and backdrops look better. But when you toured, the best thing was the catering. Yeah, if you come to a venue and there was good catering, that was, you were instantly in a good mood, because
Eh,
food is very important.
yeah, it's absolutely. I
Yeah,
get what you
and
mean.
nutritious food also. Sometimes it was just overcooked pasta and some disgusting tomato sauce or something. And hey, come on, we've been traveling for like a day now, and we want to eat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Talking
But
about
I must say,
yeah.
in Hungary, one of the best. It's a woman and a man having a club together, and she
Uh-huh.
is always cooking very good food. I
It's
cannot remember the name of her right now,
uh-huh,
or
uh-huh.
we are playing in different venues there, but she's always there
Mm-hmm.
cooking the food.
Yeah, it's good
And
to hear that in Hungary you
nutritious
got.
and warm and very
Oh,
good.
that's great,
Goulash
great,
is like,
great.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear that Hungarian cuisine met your expectations. Talking about changes, there has been a small change in your lineup. Your bassist Alan Landholm has been replaced by Tobias Christiansen in 2022. In my opinion, the lineup of Necrophobic has become even stronger with his arrival. How do you see it?
Yes, it was unfortunate that Alan wanted to leave because it was his decision. He is not so much. He likes to play live, but our schedule was a bit too much for him. So he had, he wants to play live, but not so often that we did at that period. And then the COVID situation, it was calm for a bit. And then when things started to happen, he sent us, no, he actually called each and every one of us and said that, okay, this is what it's going to be like in the soon, and I'm afraid, I love you guys and I like very much playing with you, but you must have time to find a replacement for me. And so he was very foreseeing, or make us notified a long time before the first gig should happen. So yes, and when Tobias came into the band, he's a wonderful person, and he fits very good in Necrophobic. He's a great bass player. He likes the same kind of music that we do, and he's a great stage performer. So he fits very well in both the music that we do and the live show that we do.
I see. And your new album, entitled In the Twilight Grave, will be released in March by Century Media, and this album is full of actually fantastic songs. I can just praise them. The promo featured actually 10 songs, but it turned out that there will be a bonus song on the release. Could you please tell us something about it?
Oh, so the bonus tracks are not official yet?
No, the promo contained only 10 songs.
Yeah, yes, but
Yeah.
there will be one CD version and the deluxe CD version and the deluxe vinyl version will have the bonus tracks.
I see.
But if it's not written anywhere yet, what the name of those songs are, I keep it a bit of a secret for yet another while.
I see.
I can say that one song is a cover song, and one song is an own written song.
I see. Thank you. Thank you for disclosing this information. Who was the main songwriter and lyricist? Where did you get the idea to quote a poem by the Irish poet William Butler Yeats and relate the title of the album to that poem?
Sebastian is the main songwriter, both music and lyrics. Anders contributed also with music and lyrics. Tobias contributed with music, and Johan contributed with music. The lyrics, I will not give you an explanation what the lyrics are about, because I think it's up to you, the listener, who reads the lyrics, to make your own interpretations of it. Like I always make like an example that if you and I look at the same painting, we see the same painting, but we may think different about the painting.
Absolutely.
And no one of us is right.
Yeah, sure.
We are both right. I mean, my interpretation is just as correct as your interpretation. And the artist is not standing there and explain the painting to us.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But since we are a death black metal band, the songs are not about flowers. The songs are not about happy feelings. Yeah, you understand.
Yeah, sure. Of course. And this album was again produced, mixed, and mastered by Fredrik Folkar.
Yeah.
What kind of a relationship do you have with him? Why do you think it's fun to work with him? What did he say about the final result?
Yes, we've been working with him since we actually stepped away from Sunlight Studios. So back in 2005, when we started recording Rim Tourism, we have bought ourselves some own studio equipment, and it started to be more not available, but we could choose where we wanted to record our music, and not being it has to be scheduled where and when and on which times. And we recorded it at a friend's house in his basement. And we had to find a person that could overlook everything, that it was correctly recorded, and that was Fredrik. So he was like, yeah, he mixed the album, but also was involved in how it was recorded. And we felt this way of recording suit us very, very good. So when the next album should be recorded, he took the whole process of engineering, recording, mixing, mastering. So since it has been so successful and for us very convenient way of working, we have yet continued with him, as it feels good to have him with those tasks. And for me, I don't know for everyone else, but I feel very relaxed and focused and not stressed by time when I go to his studio and record.
Mhm.
So, and the result is always good.
And personally, what do you think? What would you highlight about the album? How would you describe it?
It's very fresh for me as well, since I first heard the pre-production, the demos for maybe 1 year ago. So I would say it's obviously sounding very much necrophobic. So there's nothing new there. But again, it has some new paths. I think on this album, it's much more wider selection of songs than on the last album. We actually have, I think, 2 heavy songs that is heavy throughout the whole song. And that's very hard, at least for us. Before, when we have made a heavy song, it always comes some fast part or something. This time we managed to make 2 heavy songs. It's also, some of the songs sound very much like we did in the 90s, which I think is really cool. So there's some old sounding songs, and also from where we are today, so to speak. So this is where we are today. I think it's maybe you should maybe it will be growing on you, because maybe it's not so direct like the 2 previous albums. This will maybe demand more from you, the listener, to make it grow on you. So that's a description I can make.
Okay, thank you. And the artwork of the album was done by Jens Rydén. This time, could you please share your thoughts with us on that?
Yes, also the last two albums, they came very close to each other, and the covers had basically the same ideas that start with the dark side painting. So on Mark of the Necrogram, you see the castle, and on Dawn of the Damned, you are inside the castle. So this time we had to step away from that idea to what else can we do here with this idea. So we went for something differently. And since we have been working with Jens with photography and layout for a while, we talked to him that if he wanted to do all the stuff, the cover and the layout and the photography, and he accepted it and start working on a painting that Sebastian saw on his website, but we wanted to change it a bit. So we asked Jens, we really like this piece, but we have to make it look like Necrophobic and for the new album. So that was a transition of an already finished art piece. Yes, and I think it's very different and very cool at the same time.
Staying with the visual arts, are there any more videos planned besides Stormcrow and The Stars Collide? How much do you enjoy filming?
Yes, we were in Germany. I think it's 1 month ago now, and there was one of the persons on our record label was there with her friend that brought cameras and also this what are they called? The cameras that fly around.
I also don't know the name. I
Drones.
don't know this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So he filmed a lot of backstage, and when we came to the venue and backstage and the live show, so he's working on putting something together with that material. I don't know right now what it will turn out to be. So I cannot say that we have right now a plan of releasing yet another video, but we have filmed stuff that could be a video.
But last year, your former 9 releases were released. How does such a re-release affect a musician? I ask it for 2 reasons, because firstly is that they may differ from the original version in design, format, and also other things. And secondly, you may think that if it was re-released, then you obviously made great music, exactly because the previous releases were all sold out and people are still looking for Necrophobic. This sounds like a really positive feedback, doesn't it?
Do you talking about all the reissues from last year?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, we have been on several record labels, and we started, or the record label came with a suggestion that we should look at the contracts that we wrote in the past, and to have it released once again from the same label, the Central Media that we are on. Some of the earlier releases was on a label that got bankrupt, was out of business, and that was Rimturism and Death to All. You couldn't find them anywhere. Of course, on the second-hand market, but there were so few copies. So it was fantastic to release those again, reissued and remastered. And when I took took this project because I was working with all the reissues with layout and stuff. I took the decision that as a record collector myself, what would I like to see with a reissue? I want it to look like exactly how it looked when it first came out. So and I also Jens was co-working with me for some of those releases. So they are looking very much like the first versions of each and every album that came out. And a few of them has bonus tracks. And yeah, it's not for it to sell better, but to give something more where it could be, where it could be fit. Yeah, and particularly the first album, the story is that it didn't come out the way we wanted it. The Nocturnal Silence, it had the wrong song on it, on the first issue, or the first pressing. Then the second pressing came, and the right song was there. And then came the third pressing, and the wrong song was there again. So on this time, we decided we release it as a 10-track album and not drop a song. So that was special about Nocturnal Silence. It came out with all the songs for the first time. And Spawned by Evil has been, re-released so many times. It is not a mini album anymore. It's filled with covers and blah, blah, blah. So that one, I put all the old demos that we released or didn't release to put them there. One album is not anything special with, except that it looks like it did in that year when it came out. So there was a lot of work with that. I was totally exhausted after
I can imagine.
the album was done. And listening to it all the time again.
Yeah, sure.
the remasters, I was like,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
You have played live with Necrophobic several times in Hungary. Which one of your shows was the most memorable for you? Do you know anything about the Hungarian Necrophobic fans?
The fans are as great as everywhere. Some are more especially from your parts of the world. They are a bit fanatic in a different way. They are also very humble. They're not. They ask if it's okay, and they're very polite, but they bring all the stuff they have and wants to have it signed. I like those kind of fans. It's also crazy when you go to South America, for instance. It's totally crazy. You think you are in Iron Maiden when you come there. It's really crazy. But back to your question, if I remember, I think we did. Yeah, we have played in Hungary many times, and every time a new place. Never the same place twice. But I think that we did a tour in 2010 with Black Dahlia Murder. I think that venue was a big round venue, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember.
So the concert hall, and then outside it was like you walked around in a circle.
Yeah.
I remember that place, and also the good food that she cooked, of course. She has cooked every time we have been in Hungary. So that when you come to Hungary, you will get good food.
That's great to hear. And honey, how many more live performances can we expect? What are your plans for the future?
I know I have a schedule in my phone. I don't know which is official yet or pending. Germany is going to happen a few times. Summer Breeze Festival. We will play in March. We will play in Germany and Sweden. There's a German festival, and then in Gothenburg in Sweden. Then in April, we are going to Mexico and Colombia. In May, we are back in Europe, and I don't remember right now, but I think we play in Denmark. We will play in Holland. We will play in Czech Republic, I think. Slovakia or Slovenia, I don't know. Gotham Festival. What do you know it?
No, I don't. I heard, but I don't know where it is actually.
Yeah, it's sorry, but I don't.
No, it's okay.
If it was Slovenia or Slovakia, I think it's Slovenia.
It's a busy schedule.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's fun. Yeah.
I know. Just another question. What is the current situation with the band called Unhollow, where you play together with Robert Sennebeck from Dismember?
Yes, it's when I think it was 2 years ago when we recorded those 2 songs, and the plan was to record the other songs later that year. But then Dismember started up again, and yeah, the Necrophobic and Dismember is the priority bands.
Yeah, I know.
So, but I skied with Robert last weekend, and he had a birthday party also 2 weeks ago, or if it was 1 week ago. And we decided that we must, but I will not promise, but we must record it this year. We cannot, another year, because people forget. Yeah, so that's hopefully, I cannot make promise, but I think it will be recorded during this year.
Oh, that's good to hear.
When both of us find the time to. Dismember is very busy too.
Yeah, I know. And it will be soon be 3 years since the death of Lars Göran Petrov, the legendary frontman of Entombed. Can you share some of your memories with him?
Again, well, sorry.
Do you have memories with him? Do you have anything that you remember about him?
Which one?
The Lars Göran Petrov, the Entombed
yes,
frontman. Yeah.
Yeah, he's always. I known him since since back in the days. He's always fun, always laughing, he was always joking, always asking for cigarettes. He's supposed to give me cigarettes. No, but and we support. Yeah, I talked to him about him like if still around, but we support the same team as well in ice hockey and football. It's a big loss for the world. He's great stage guy. Yeah, he's like the best in death metal actually.
Yeah, sure.
How he can handle the crowd.
Talking about football, which I know that you love football and skiing. Which team would you recommend to us?
To follow? Yeah, Djurgården, of course. DIF.
Okay.
Yes.
And you also mentioned your enthusiasm for Iron Maiden several times in other interviews.
Yeah.
For you, what are the greatest Iron Maiden songs?
There are so many, but they are from the 80s. I of course like their newer stuff as well, but I always return to the 80s album. I think Paul Di'Anno was a great singer. They had this energy and punky sound, even though Steve Harris would not allow me to say the word punk.
Yeah, sure.
But it had a nerve and yeah, it was very rough.
Mhm.
And of course, Bruce Dickinson, his voice is, you know, it's fantastic. So every album from 80 till 88 is precious.
Mhm.
And it depends. Sometimes you are more into Somewhere in Time. Someday you are more into Killers.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I cannot pick the greatest song, but it's from those records.
Yeah, yeah, I see,
Yeah.
I see. I just realized that our time is over, so I think it was a great conversation, and you kindly shared a lot of valuable information with us. So thank you so much for this
Thank you for
interview.
talking to me.
No, we constantly need your music and the music of Necrophobic. So may you have many more albums, many more great concerts, and we hope to see you guys here also. And may you enjoy the catering of the woman.
Yeah, and sorry for forgotten her name. It's, you know, but yes, I hope we come back to Hungary on the with this album. So
That would be great.
yeah, see you there.
Okay, see you there, and all the
Yeah,
best for you and for the band.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you and bye bye.
Bye.